You know what? Even though this guy is named after the Roman god of medicine, this guy doesn't look like it does a lot of healing, does it? What is going on, guys? MJ105 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Gundam Aesculapius from Gundam Wing Dual Story G Unit. Now, purple Gundams are not really that common out there, and I have to say I really do dig the purple. And I really do dig the aesthetic, and it does pertain the standards of it being better looking than the actual old seed kits. Now, it does also have the polycap joints that are most common in the 90s wing kits. However, due to the bulk of this guy, yeah, this thing doesn't really have too much range of motion. And now the only issue that I have with it is the actual back pieces over here and the arms, because they actually do occupy a little bit of the peg over here, so the arm armor cannot really fully socket into the peg. Not that it does help anyways, because when I try to fully socket it to the peg without the chest pieces, they still have a pretty easy time of coming out when I rotate them. So it's basically just like the Hydra Gundam's arms. When you rotate it, it just starts to dislocate, so you have to constantly readjust it. Made even worse on this kit because this thing does have a transformation gimmick, and because the chest pegs do not socket into the arms completely. So the arm issue is a little bit irritating, but if you just let it sit there just like this, stationary, it's gonna be fine. Now, the other problem that I have with it is stickers. However, I will let them go for this one, because after all, this is a 90s kit. So the sticker on the Viven is what I really cannot stand, because they could have molded this in kind of like a copper, but I guess they really want to just make all of the copper pieces in a uniform color, so they went ahead with a purple piece and just put on the sticker right on the front. And of course, you do have the forehead and the eyes. I really do like the face, and yeah, the chin is also a sticker, but this sticker does actually provide it like with a carbon fiber pattern on the chin, which is kind of nice. And also obviously all of the copper on the body. The claws are horrendous, but yeah, what could you do? It's just a 90s kit. Maybe this thing would get a revive, kinda, just like the Geminus would get its own revamped high grade. And of course, you do have the snake over here, which I think is kind of like a reference to the staff of Aesculapius, because after all, he is the god of medicine. And of course, you do have the white on here, and of course the eye inside of here, which is for the transformation to the melee hover type mode kind of thing. But anyways, this thing does look pretty damn good, and it may not be 100% accurate to the line art, but the proportions of the face may be a little bit squished. However, it still looks better than the old seed kit. So this thing does have a generic Gundam look, and I do really like how it looks, apart from all the poor sticker work that I put into this guy. Articulation wise, it's the G unit articulation. The head is on a single ball joint, so no funky chicken dance, but it can still rotate, but beware of collisions occasionally. The arms are on pegs. They do not have any special mechanics in there. The arms can move out that far, but it will worsen the problem that I mentioned earlier. Rotation and bend at the elbow on a polycap, ball joint to polycap wrists, a peg waist, no crunches whatsoever, not even if you cheat. Bar front skirts, hinge side skirts, back skirts are a block. The legs have no special mechanics, so they can go forwards, go back, not much, go out as far as the ball joint would allow it. Rotation thanks to the ball joint. It should be a double jointed knee, but unfortunately the armor got in the way. And then the feet, they're on a single ball joint. And the backpack, it's on the double hinge. And of course, this part can flip down without you knowing. It's not supposed to flip down to reveal the eye in the Gundam form, but it does it anyways. And yeah, these pieces are on a swivel. I just like to put them down for mobile suit mode, just because it kind of looks better. And that's all the articulation for the Gundam Aesculapius. Now, it's not as horrendous as the Hydra, but yeah, it's still pretty limited. But then again, this is a 90s kit, so we have to cut it some slack for where slack has to be cut. Accessories, the only thing that you get is the two beam sabers right here. Now, this is what I really love, and they absolutely tanked the quality in the Gundam seed kits. They actually provided us with the clear beam sabers. Of course, you need to paint the handle, but I do not really mind about that, because at least the beam sabers are actually separate. Now, you do also get like phony handles inside of here, but they are what they are, phony handles. They are actually just acting like they're stored inside of the binders on the shoulders. So that's all the accessories for the Aesculapius. Now, before I transform this guy, let's compare it to a generic Gundam right here. Now, I do not know if this is accurate. I think the head is a little bit short, is a little bit under the normal Gundam height, but I'm not really too sure because it has the gigantic mohawk that actually brings it up to height. So yeah, not really too sure about this guy's height. The Hydra Gundam is way far back in the shelf. I do not want to bother with it, so I just left it there. And why not? Let's just bring in the Alice 3 Gundam for another comparison. Now, this thing does have the transformation which I mentioned, so without further ado, let's just get right to it. Now, what you basically want to do is to straighten the arms and then expand the shoulder armor like so. It's on a double hinge, and then basically cuff the shoulder armor around the arm. And then be careful when you're doing this because this piece does actually separate from the joint. Just cuff the entire hand over, and here you have some crab claws with some guns inside of them. Same thing goes for the other side. I'm going to do it later. And then what you need to do for these top pieces, now rotate them upwards and rotate the chest piece upwards, and then just try your best to push it down. I really like the linear process, but still these are separate chest pieces, so they can cause a little bit of problems. And then for the head, just remove it and then hinge the backpack upwards and then push it down to reveal the eye. Now I'm going to transform the other arm and I'm going to be right back. So here we have the Gundam Aesculapius in its alt mode, and I have to say it does look pretty unique for what it is trying to be. Like this thing, a lot of people said it looks like Gundam Wing's version of the Hygog, and I absolutely do agree, but it just looks like some generic Xeon looking underwater mobile suit or amphibious mobile suit. Now I imagine this thing being like amphibious and only being able to hover because the thrusters are obviously facing back. The thrusters in the arm, in the shoulder binders are obviously flipped inside to become the beam guns. And yeah, this thing does not have any downwards thrust, so obviously this thing can basically only hover. Like it doesn't even have thrusters in the feet. So yeah, I could imagine this thing being like heavy melee type and being able to clamp somebody down while shooting them in the face, but not really too sure. Obviously, the arm articulation is kind of hampered because the arms are inside of these gauntlets right here, which do look pretty damn cool, but all the rest is the same. And it has a chin, has a mono eye, basically trying to tell the world that it is a Gundam while disguising itself as not a Gundam. Not really sure what they're acting at, but this thing does look pretty damn unique and cool. I really wish more Gundams actually did this, but it does ruin the mechanic for the Aesculapius, doesn't it? But pretty unique mechanic. I really wish some more mobile suits, or maybe even a build custom of the Aesculapius. Who knows? So in this kind of form, it is obviously even shorter. It doesn't match up to the Granddaddy Gundam's height. And obviously the Alice 3 Gundam even more so. So this is going to be the review of the Gundam Aesculapius. What do I think of this kit? Well, this thing does look pretty unique. It does have unique mechanics. However, a lot of the issues that I have with this kit cannot really be blamed because it is a 90s kit after all. So the lack of articulation and all of the horrendous stickers, no blaming them for that. But the one thing I will blame them for is the arms. Not only that they would just pop out on their own when you're trying to rotate the arms, the peg itself is not really fully inside of the shoulders because of the extra chest pieces. So yeah, probably tighten up the actual peg itself and then you may not get as bad of an issue. But then again, this kit is unique, but they tried their best during those days to implement all of the mechanics of the Gundam Aesculapius, so which is why I will give it a 7 out of 10. Not really the best kit, not really mind-blowing per se, but the uniqueness is enough to warrant this thing a 7. Plus, I really cannot discredit this kit for what it is because it is an old kit after all, so I will have to give it credit where credit is due. But anyways, 7 out of 10 if you somehow find this thing, especially when the G unit reprints are on right now. go ahead and pick this kit up. I would absolutely recommend this kit. So that's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more gunplay reviews, gunplay news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the future channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.